Yo, what's up, everybody? And welcome to the Sam and Simon podcast. This is episode 2. I'm your host, Sam, with my co-host,
Si. What a great intro.
Yeah,
So, I thought I'd kick it off with a...
I was just going to ask you what you've been up to first. I hadn't actually spoken to you, like, what you've been up to. I just
Yeah,
it's
fair.
really weird.
True. To be honest with you, mate, not too much. I stayed up till 4 a.m. playing Fortnite. I wanted to go to bed early, but me being diabetic, sugars were high, and I was like, I need to kill some time. 4 hours later, it was 4 a.m.
Sounds about normal, yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
how
to be
about
fair,
yourself?
I was up late, like... we were trying to film a video yesterday getting streamers to do things on Twitch, and I just got bored on my own last night. So it was like 1 a.m. and I was asking them to sing the national anthem.
That's so funny.
So, and then I thought we'd open up with Bear Force One because I started the movement, joined the movement, Bear Force One, loads of them played it, and yeah, I got a drummer.
Was it the same drummer?
No. This guy was legit. I followed him though, so we can do it. We can add him because he'll do it. You
That's
just
sick.
add it to a queue and he does it.
That's so sick.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I did, and then kind of did. I watched a rerun of Dillian White versus Derek Chisora because he's fighting Saturday.
Okay.
Mad fight, so I'm looking forward to that. But other than that, I've done nothing.
That's pretty cool, mate. That's pretty cool. I mean, the whole Twitch idea. To give you guys some context, the other day we got bored after recording 3 podcasts and decided, hey, let's go on Twitch and let's get people to sing, hum, recreate the LEA theme tune. We'll give you a little tester now of what a few of those sounds
See,
like.
now you got to edit that in, mate.
It's fine. We've already done the clap. You don't need to do it again.
Yeah, fuck you.
Hey, Sam.
Okay, well, I guess that's what we've been up to.
Yeah.
I mean,
Apart from that, just been eating like a horse. Not much else, mate. Not much else.
not everyone's bored. You just bored everyone to death.
Brilliant.
Okay, now let's get on to your topic.
Now it's the topic. So I thought, oh Jesus Christ, this cat's chasing a squirrel, mate. Doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, basically, I wanted to kick it off. I saw on Twitter this morning this whole like debate about going to uni and not going to uni, and I thought it'd be really interesting because I went to university. You haven't gone to university, but we're still at the same path, and we're still at a similar sort of positioning. So I kind of wanted to get your understanding or like your mindset of the route and path you took, and then obviously I'll give a context about my path, and maybe even ask the cat who's coming in now.
If you haven't noticed, Simon looks about 40 years old because he's older than me. So he went to
I did
uni.
shave though, so
Yeah, fair.
that minuses a few
Sharp.
years.
So he went to uni, so I saw what he did and was like, yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And I thought about going to drama school because I was acting at first, and then just decided against it. And then I've just been kind of working and kind of making my own kind of writing and doing whatever I want, pretty much. And so now I'm here with no money, talking to a microphone.
Brilliant.
And that's about it. But I think I don't think these days you have to. I think you can. Everyone is going to uni now, so now it's like, why are you going? Why are you getting a degree? Like I know people who've gone to uni and they're doing a history degree, but they don't want to be a historian.
Yeah. Well, you have people doing like sports science.
No, but if it's sports science or something like that, you can get a job from that. Do you know?
True,
Because
true.
it's specific, and that might be what they want to do. Go into sports science. My friend who's doing a history degree, he don't want to be a historian. He's just doing it because everyone's getting a degree, and it's what everyone does. I think if you are to go to uni nowadays, go and do something where you're going into a niche, like law, like being a doctor, like something like that. But
I haven't said it yet.
yeah, no, you haven't. To be fair, something that you can get a career out of at the end of the day after you've finished, because so many people are just going now. But I don't know. I haven't been like I'm just working like making pizzas and stuff. So
Quality banter,
I'm not.
Quality.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not the person to ask, but from my experience, it's been fine. And like I want I want to be in. I said it again, man. It's real. I want to be making films, and my hero Quentin Tarantino, he said, "I didn't go to film school. I went to film." So in that time I've been off, all I've been doing is watching films, writing, watching as much theatre, films, all the stuff I want to do. Even some television. Who watches television anymore? But as much as I can, and then putting it into my own unique thing that I'm doing. But yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. And I thought it was interesting because from my experience, through sixth form, I was making these sort of videos that were just like piss take videos. Like we did one that was similar to Little Britain, but we called it Little Bennett because that's what our secondary school was called.
Hold tight, 10,000 views, bro.
Yeah, and that literally just took off, and I got to a point where I was like, I don't know where I want to go. And at the point I had a BAFTA mentor, Noel Probin. He has won multiple BAFTAs, 9 international awards, loads of crazy stuff. And I basically spoke to him and just said, look, I don't know what to do, because if I don't go to uni, I could get lazy from staying at home. I have a very addictive personality to games, as you already got a taste for, which you clearly know, but the audience.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to be around
you blame your diabetes instead. No, that's just straight your addiction, bro. Don't blame that. No, don't pretend, bro. We know it's your little addict.
Mate, it's only one hand, the other hand's doing other stuff.
Oh, no.
Too far already, broken it. But going back to the topic.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's alright. I basically was just thinking, like, I want to be around creatives. And the only other person at my secondary school was my mate Ben. He was the only one that was able to do these films with, because he was the only one that actually gave a shit. And once he was going to uni, I was like, I literally didn't have really anyone at the time. And, we weren't really speaking too much about film back then. It wasn't really a big on our agenda. And when I spoke to Noel, the BAFTA mentor, he basically just said it might be worth going to university and getting work on the side, especially in the first year. It's not so busy. And so I went down that path. First year was amazing. Ended up meeting some great people. And from first year uni, I felt a bit held back. So I switched over to another university in London. And I would say from my experience, it was amazing for the contacts, the people that you've met. Is insane, because if I wanted to look for anyone in the film department, was a composer, animator, editor, whoever, I know someone. Yeah. You also get taught up on the equipment. You get to use like top of the range, like 8K cameras. So which is pretty good. Getting yourself up to speed. However, I would also say what is annoying is that for like the first sort of 2 years, you don't tend to learn too much. Like, the first year is kind of like you're adjusting to life, fine. Second year, they're like ramp it up a little bit, but it's still not that much. Like they're teaching you the same sort of things that you've already got an understanding of, or they're teaching you things that you don't necessarily want to go. So I guess it's a bit of a spin, and trying to find the right uni. And for me, it was a bit of a jump, and I was glad I actually did that jump. Was gutted about the friends I left behind, but it was, from my experience, it was worth it. But I know lots of filmmakers who have gone through uni, even a mate of mine recently, gone into masters, and just like, I don't want to do it. It's not the right industry for me. It's too clinical, and dropped out.
I think especially with film kind of universities as well, I guess it is specific, as I was talking about, but that's such a big industry. It's even harder to, even though it is specific. I think they kind of tortured you in the fact you had to clinically break down some films, so now you hate that. And I love going into the philosophies of storytelling and about all these different playwrights and filmmakers, and kind of where I think they're coming from and how they've kind of spoken about it. And that it can be so demoralising. Like I remember yeah, go for it. Unbelievable. The rudeness, disrespect.
It's no disrespect here, mate. It's just dehydration.
But it is like 30 degrees or something. So like bear with.
We're also having some problems with our lights. They keep flickering, and pretty sure they're going to blow up at some point. So if it happens, we'll at least keep the camera rolling.
But I remember in school, they would we would have to break down Shakespeare to a point of where I just hated everything to do with it. But then I got a role playing in a Shakespeare play, and I got it. It clicked with me, and I think university can do that to you as well. Like it forces you to do things where when you're forced to do it, you just fall out of love with it. That's why, like, just in anything you do, just do what you enjoy. Like, so many people at my work, I'm asking them, like, what do you want to do? And they're like, oh, I just want to get money. But beauty and money and all that ends. When you die, that's gone.
Innit?
What do you actually want to do? If you were to break it right down. And I don't know where I was going with that.
No, it's fine, mate. It's fine. And I think another thing that's really pressured for some people, if we're talking about uni as a whole, is when you're like anywhere from 16 to 18, so ending, you've finished GCSEs, you're going into sixth form, college, whatever, you have this huge pressure about what do you want to do with your life? Where do you want to be? And you have to find out within a month. You've got to apply to unis and stuff. I literally decided I wanted to go uni 2 hours before the deadline.
Genius.
Yeah. And I got in.
Bro, there's going to be people who've worked so hard.
But it's because I was like, I don't want to do something and not
100%
it. If I do it, I have to 100% it. Because otherwise there's no point in it, And it's one of those things where I've spoken to people and they've, going back to the story earlier, they go through the whole of university and they're like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. Like, I've done English. I don't give a shit about English.
Yeah.
Or they're like, I've done this job. I've done history. Where can I get a job? Or different subjects and that. And I think it's kind of sad in a way because you almost have like this 3 years. It's almost like it's a hell of a lot of fun. You have lots of parties, surrounded by friends, mates, work hard, party hard, whatever. It's good fun.
Yeah.
But then when you come out of it, it's like you step into the real life.
Yeah.
You have bills. You have to maintain your own flat. Obviously, I'm crashing at my dad. Shout out to Dad. Cheers, mate. At the moment, but it's just. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I think it's just kind of sad that a lot of people are getting very depressed about it and not knowing what they want to do with their life. And you see, especially on like social media, people posting all the time about like, oh, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I'm really successful, but I'm really young. And then you kind of feel shit about yourself. Like, I know a person who has worked in all the new Star Wars films and she's 2 years younger than me.
Don't bring Ben Swallow back into this, man.
I'm not bringing Ben Swallow.
That hurt me. Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't yesterday, was it?
2 days ago.
Oh.
But by the time they see this, it'll be even longer.
That hurt my soul. Hurt my soul. Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah, the social media thing is true as well. Oh my God, you see some people and you're like, oh my, and you just scratch under the surface and it's just darkness.
Or even if you speak to them in person, they just can't hold a convo.
They got nothing behind the eyes in the end. They're just dead. But in uni, in film, there's a lot of pressure as well to make your final film, which you've made, and hopefully we'll do an episode soon about it when you finish it.
I'm almost done, mate.
Okay, alright.
We've done the edit. We've just got to do the colour grading, sound. The colour grading is done, just needs to be applied. Getting sound designers, doing some ADR.
Okay, so nearly there. But there's a lot of pressure on that. With me, I have no pressure. Now it's a bit weird because I work better under pressure. I enjoy that, but it gives me the ability to just write something, to experiment. Like I was writing a thing the other day, and it was just all about holding tension. Like in Inglourious Bastards, the first scene, where it's the Jews under the floor, and that whole Hitchcock's bomb theory, and I was just exploring that, just because why not? I've got freedom to do it, and if it's really bad, it doesn't affect me because I'm not spending 10 grand a year. I'm not spending 10 grand a year, and I'm not gonna fail anything. I'm just like in myself, it could have gone better. So, although you meet a lot of contacts, which makes it easier to make the films, at the time there's so much pressure. Then you come out, you're 30 grand in debt. You're all like, I gotta make some money. You get a job as a runner somewhere. And then you're trapped in a job which is so shit being someone's bitch. Like,
Yeah.
fuck that. And do you know what I mean? And then you get lost from that anyway. So you got 3 years of making a lot of films, and it is a lot of fun, I guess. This is only from how I've seen it from the outside. And then there is pressure on the final one, so that can get stressful. And then afterwards, you're like, oh yeah, we're going to do it. But then reality hits with all these bills. And so all I do, man, I just work to get a little bit of money to make like a little film in a week or in a couple days sometimes. Where we're just like, let's just experiment and have fun.
To be honest, it's one of those things with uni, like, I don't regret it at all. I think
shouldn't.
everything was an experience. Learnt so much. Got to film in Italy. Got to film all over the place, which is insane. Met amazingly talented people, which I'll continue to work with. The biggest degrading thing I sort of found was that I came out with a first, and I was like, great banter. Your gran said happy, congratulations, not happy birthday, congratulations yesterday, good bands. But where I was going with this is that no one gives a fuck about your degree.
Yeah.
I met with the DOP for Doctor Who a couple of years back.
Right.
And he literally just straight up just said to me, he's like, I don't give a fuck about what qualifications you've got. All I care about is your attitude, your experience, and your drive.
Yeah.
And I just thought, like, oh, okay, maybe I should stop, like, working. And I thought, okay, no, like, I worked really hard for a first.
Yeah.
I put so many hours into every single project I'd done, the same as the rest of the team. And it's kind of like you work with people who haven't gone through the same sort of path or even uni, and they're at the same point as you, and they're 30 grand not in debt.
Yeah.
And I am. And obviously it doesn't necessarily matter because obviously you pay it off over the time.
And no one pays it off.
That's what I'm saying. No one's sort of paid it off yet, but it's just this thing of it doesn't really give you an advantage anymore, like you were saying earlier, which is kind of a shame because you speak to people and they're like, oh, congratulations, that's going to get you loads of jobs. And it's like, nah. They just want to see your credits. Like literally a film CV is all the films you've worked on, like not short films because that doesn't matter. It has to be fully credited stuff. And it's really hard just getting that first credit. Obviously once you've got it you can keep going on, but from my experience, especially the last couple jobs I've had, people were so lovely, but the jobs were just not great. The first one I was a runner, I was doing anywhere from 12 to 20 hours in one go, and then 12 hours later I come back in, and it was a shame. Then I left that one because being diabetic, that actually... Diabetic?
What's that?
It's me saying it wrong. That's what it is.
Yeah. Sorry. Carry on.
That was me, mate.
Carry on.
So being diabetic, that literally ruined my sugars. And then I switched jobs to another place, huge production company, loads of branches around the world. People really lovely again. But it was very admin based. You manage like global domains, you manage the emails, you help prepare for some shoots, and then once a month, once or 2 months, you go on set. But the problem is when you're on set is that you start really early and then you finish like 18 hours later or something.
Yeah.
And that's sort of where I sort of fell in a little bit. Is it's really hard for me as someone that's allergic to like wheat flour, gluten, dairy. There's a lot more. We'll do it in another video maybe.
No,
no,
I can't be bothered.
Neither can I. It's hard because it just means that I'm made ill from it.
Yeah.
And living in London is so expensive that, you know, you do a job and it pays say like 18k. After tax, you're getting like 15, and then the majority of that goes on rent. Then you're left with no money.
Yeah.
And not that much of a standpoint with experience, you know. And I tried to carry on with my own films and making films whilst working there, and it's just a bit shit. And that's why I'm like wanting to do other stuff, and that's why I'm here today. Obviously, you know, really wanting to make films. So for some people, I guess going back to the whole uni topic, it's, you know, I feel it's what you want. What do you want out of it? And for me, I wanted to meet like-minded individuals, get experience. At the time, I wanted a good grade. I got an alright grade, but you know, some people now that go in there, they just do it because they feel pressured by society, and that's kind of really sad. And I think it's good though, hearing from yourself that, you know, you've still managed to get to where you are today, and you're still doing some pretty cool stuff. I mean, you almost worked with Duke from fucking Tracy Beaker.
Yeah, I just found this out yesterday. I was working for Chichester Festival Theatre. I was in their YCC. Do you know what? It's in my contract to actually put them in social media.
That's great.
So I guess I've just fulfilled it now.
Quality.
Brilliant. But I was on the production Present Laughter, a Noel Coward play with Rufus Hound, which was... I met him. It was so weird.
Really?
Yeah, because I was with my mum. Shout out Ma for driving me down because it was like 4 hours.
Ma.
It was 4 hours on the train, like, and the play was late, so I would have missed my train. I'd have had to have slept in like this train station. But
That's horrible.
he went to the loo and he came out and I was like, "Oi, bruv, nice one!" And his face was like, "What is going on?" But yeah, now the next play they're doing has Matt Lucas from Little Britain, actually.
Really?
Yeah, and
Wow.
Duke from Tracy Beaker. And I'm
Love
like,
that.
why? I mean, Present Laughter was pretty good. Like, I did enjoy that, but the things I would do to shake Duke's hand,
Same.
like, is unbelievable.
He's such a hero, man.
I know. And I was like, I was thinking the other day, actually, what's he doing these days? And now he's in a play down Chichester.
I saw, I mean, kind of puts him in a bit of a bad light, but someone created this jokey video of him where he was almost like creeping on everyone, and they made it look like a horror film.
Oh my
It
god.
was so good. And that's why I mentioned Tracy Beaker to you the other day. And obviously you told me about Duke.
Yeah.
It's meant to be, mate.
Bro.
Duke is life.
Full circle.
That was like a spastic love heart. Because he went like that.
Oh, I don't. It's too hot. I can't think. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Neither.
Yeah. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know where my last point was going or whatever. I don't even know what I was talking about.
I can't remember either.
Nah.
I need water.
Yeah. Well, if you did enjoy this drivel for... I don't know how long we're going to actually leave this up for. 20 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah, it's probably... I don't know. Leave a like. Comment. Subscribe. Follow him on Twitch, Bacon Awakens. And follow us on Instagram.
And also, if you want us to actually cover any topics or anything, post them down below and we'll consider.
I won't. He will. I literally do nothing. He was setting up for like half an hour earlier. I just sat here doing nothing. So, yeah. Be like me. Don't go to uni and make the people who go to uni do everything.